Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. If you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing. I've got a bit of a favour. We're so close to 25,000. So if you aren't subscribed, get on board, help me out, get on the journey. Villa won. Huge victory. So smash the likes if you are buzzing. Let's go for 1,000. And most importantly, comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Aston Villa won. Foulham 0 tells a tale of the game. I quite like that I've been able to come with Foulham based on that performance. So that's deserving of a like in itself. Right, so the game, emotions after it, absolutely buzzing. It's a huge victory for Villa to bounce back after the Manchester City defeat in the Premier League. So we've been able to get 5 in a row, lose that, bounce back. Very important. And to bounce back after the Crystal Palace defeat when everybody's deflated, and to come back with a victory is huge. This was a difficult game on paper because Fulham are still going for Europe. They were 6 points behind us. They are still in the mix for Europe, but we are clear of them. And this victory all but confirms Villa will be playing some form of European football next season, which in itself is huge. 3 seasons in a row. But for Fulham, it meant that if City win the FA Cup, then places drop down. So the pack that they're still fighting in can still get Europe. Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham. So it was a difficult game. Marco Silva mentioned that it was a cup final for them. It was a game that they had to really win. They were going to be up for it. And that's why it was a difficult game for Aston Villa. It wasn't a game where we're playing somebody who have got nothing to play for. They were going to make it very difficult for us. So in that aspect, a very difficult day for Aston Villa on paper. One change for Villa, Maatsen for Digne, which I think we all thought was probably going to happen. And then, yeah, the game unfolded, and majority of it, I was feeling okay, very calm throughout, majority of it, really. But I want to say one thing that I think probably would have happened early on in the season is that we'll lose or draw that game. It had the feel of a game that I've seen before this season where Villa are dominant, Villa are decent, and then the opposition score and we draw the game like Bournemouth, etc. It had that feel of just drawing that game. And earlier in the season, we would have done that, but today we didn't. So that is a massive positive. It's a positive. And I think, we can, and as I will talk about how we've played. We'll talk about tactically. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. None of it matters. Because the only thing that matters is that we win. And the only thing that matters in the next 3 games is that we win. If we play rubbish and win every one of them games, we are in my opinion, we are pretty much going to get Champions League. If we win our next 3 games, we'll do it. And that's what I will say. Because I believe that Chelsea and Forest will drop points with their running. I'm not thinking we're not going to drop points. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking we're going to win our games. So if they drop points, we'll get it. So we play rubbish for the next 3 games and win. I really don't care as long as we win. But we're here to talk about the performance as a whole from today. And I thought it was all right. I thought there was some standout players, and I thought there was a few that just weren't quite at it. So I thought we started the game pretty well with our control, with possession. And I think very early on, we saw why Pau Torres is in the team, because he just played a line-splitting pass to Ollie Watkins, who bypassed the whole midfield And that is why Pau Torres is in the team, because that's what he was able to do. We started to get a bit of momentum now, and I felt like Fulham were really finding it difficult to live with our midfield pretty much for the whole of the first half. Time and time again, we was able to bypass Lukic and Sanderberg, and we was able to find those pockets. Villa playing quite compact and quite narrow, condensing the middle of the park, overloading the central midfield of Fulham. And we was able to really dominate and get a real foothold. We score a goal from a corner, but before that, Morgan Rogers on the byline outside of the foot, worldy pass to Asensio. You know, and that was build up to the goal, and we score the goal, and it's a brilliant bullet header from Tielemans, absolute bullet header, and he's able to find space, beat their zonal marking. Another set piece goal for Aston Villa. Austin McPhee, ole. Austin McPhee, Austin McPhee, Austin McPhee, ole. Another one, guys, and it's a set piece routine. I've got it written down here on my notes here that I've got. How many is that at now? 15 set piece goals now, ole. So great stuff there. And we didn't really create too many other opportunities. Tielemans had that one where it looked like it was going in the back of the net. An absolute fizzer that just narrowly missed the post. But there was also some really good work that I spotted, and I thought Matty Cash defensively had some real good blocks in there. And I've spoke about the blocks earlier on in the week that our fullbacks aren't doing it, but they were dogged, they were determined, they were blocking stuff. Maatson reading of the game very well as well. So I thought both fullbacks defended well. And I think we had that little bit of a moment with balls over the top, our line a little bit higher, but we were fine and we were really untroubled, really. I thought second half again we were good. They grew into a little bit. They scored that goal that had handball in it, and again standout performer McGinn I thought was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. McGinn was. He was so good. Tielemans exceptional. I thought Maatson defensively was good. Driving forward, going forward was good. Cash defensively, very good. And that was probably the best of what I thought was good, really. I thought there was a little bit of... And I think Emery speaks well after the game. Emery speaks after the game, and Emery's summarised this pretty perfectly. And I'll go into and I'll digress what he said with my analysis as well. We scored, dominating, but we stopped. We started playing back passes. We do back passes for one objective, to go back and then progress. But we weren't doing it how we were, losing some easy balls. There was one moment, guys, that absolutely infuriated me in the first half. And what we've been able to do is transition well, work an opening. We've got green grass in front of us. We've got Matty Cash with the ball at his feet, driving forward. And I'm thinking, put it in the box. Just put it in the box, fizz it in, put a ball in. We don't. We go backwards. We reset. We go all the way back to the left-hand side. We're in our own half at this point. We get contained, lose the ball, give the ball away, and then Fulham get a free kick. And this is what he's talking about, because we've been in a really good opportunity on the right-hand side. We've gone all the way back now, and we've posed our own problem. And I felt like today it was a bit of a posing of our own problems at times. Sometimes Kamara loose on the ball, midfielders being a bit loose, and just being at the detriment of our own downfall at times, and it was just a bit frustrating in that aspect of it, that I only ever felt like we were going to be our own problem. And again, he's also spoke about another aspect of our game, which again was, I mean, you'll see the clip online, Emery. Everyone has got to have seen Emery. He's absolutely raging at Konsa. So he goes that at halftime, he didn't accept some of them relaxing. We spoke yesterday about focusing seriously for 90 minutes in our game plan. But if someone is relaxing a little bit, we are closer to losing. This goes into what I was saying about early on in the season, we'd have drew this game. But today we didn't. There was a time that he, on the halfway line, Conser with the ball, too casual. Far too casual. He gets dispossessed. Maybe it was a foul, maybe not. And then that's when they play that passing. And I think the attacker goes with the wrong foot. And Martin is able to grasp it. But fine margins, you relax for a second and feel too comfortable. Boom. And this has been a little bit of our season, dwelling on the ball at times. Couple of times where we think the ref's going to give a foul, but he doesn't. And then he plays the advantage to the opposition. And there was a couple of those today. And there was a lot of fouls from Foulham, but that was their game today. But there was a couple of times where Villa were looking for something and we didn't get it. And then we was able to drive on our goal. So I was a little bit frustrated with that element of us, just a bit too casual, I think. And Emery's alluded to it in his post-match as well. So it fits with what my eye test has seen from today. And we were comfortable in the game. They weren't posing us many problems, but we just need to have that little bit of added intensity. I thought Rodgers was good and bad. You know, the outside of the foot, the driving forward, brilliant at times. Then sometimes dispossessed, a bit too casual, wanting that extra touch. So I felt like he was a little bit up and down, you know, but there was good stuff and some bad stuff. And I was a little bit perplexed at the McGinn substitution. I don't know whether that feels a bit pre-planned to me at the minute, coming off at 60. I really didn't feel like McGinn needed to come off. I felt like we were containing and doing very, very well, and I didn't want to see McGinn come off, I'll be honest with you. But the substitution ended up working. Onana was okay. There was one time when he gave the ball away, but overall fine. And I'm going to be honest, guys, like I always am, I'm not going to just sit here and ignore stuff, or just because a certain player could be a certain player. Ollie Watkins must do better. Must do better, guys. I really want him to get this goal record. He could have had it today. He could have had it and added a goal to get one in front. Do you know what I mean? Or no, get two in front. Could have got two in front today. The one when it goes across the box and he doesn't bury it. That is a gilt-edged chance, that is. And the one-on-one, okay, he's hit it clean. He's tried to go across the keeper's legs, and Leno's played a good game, because there was numerous times when Watkins ball over the top and the keeper came out. Great keeping from Leno today. But Watkins has got to bury them. I mean, you know, we can look back now and go, we've won the game. But again, I'll go back to early on in the season when we weren't taking our chances. We would have drew this game and we won it today. But we could bury that 3-0 game, and we can be comfortable. But it was a bit edgy, a bit sort of, we know what's riding on it, and they get a fluky something, and the game's a different story. We've got to bury him. Like, got to bury him. I mean, Marlon, again, he hit the crossbar. He had one and he should have probably buried it from his standards as well. And Marlon's come on and looked to threat. And, we're creating those chances, which is brilliant. But we've got to bury them. It's such a fine line between winning and losing and 1-0 being 2-0 and 3-0, so just got to bury him. You've got to take your chances. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net, finish the game off, and there we go. And I imagine he came off and he was a bit like, and I'm like, wait, stick it in the back of the net. So I mean that was basically it, really. The game, 8 minutes, not sure where that time came on. We got the victory. That's all that really matters. But it felt like we were just in a gear today, and we've got more to go through. And I think hopefully now what should do us well is that there's a week now in between the next game, nothing in the middle, regroup, recover, rest, full energy, attack Bournemouth, and then attack the last two after that as well. So what it has done is put massive pressure on Nottingham Forest, massive pressure on Chelsea. We're only currently 2 behind Newcastle, so we're still there. We are getting the victories. There's going to be twists and turns still, I imagine, hopefully with Chelsea, Forest and Newcastle as well. So that element to it is pleasing to see. We have a little look at the tail of the game then, so we can have a little look at what actually has gone on today. And we'll be able to see the pattern of, where has this gone? Let me try and share the screen. So we'll be able to see the pattern of it. So you can see momentum bar, to-in and throw-in. Villa with, I'd say, more dominance in there. We have got 0.88 XG. They've got 0.71. Villa, 3 big chances. They've had 1. 10 shots for Villa, 11 for Fulham. So pretty close in the stats. There weren't like, I think we were the better team. We had the better chances, but it was very scrappy, very bitty. That's how they made it. A lot of, I'm saying there's fouled in the final third, both of 3. We'd got 2 big chances missed. They'd had 1 big chance scored. Villa scored it. We've got passes in the final third. Villa 69%, Fulham 80. Long balls 57 for Villa, 62 for Fulham. Duels, Villa won 51%, 51 ground duels, 52 aerials, and 53 dribble success. Tackles won 55% for Villa. So we'll go a little bit more in depth on the debrief. That can be coming out tomorrow. So overall, I'm happy, pleased. But again, I think where I am as a fan at the minute, guys, is I want to be true to myself and expect more and put expectation on this team, because I know how good we are. I know how good certain individuals are, and where we are as a club right now and where we are as a team. I've got very, very high expectations of this team, and I want us to strive to be the very, very best we can be. So with that, when we are performing not at our best, but getting the job done, that's fine. But I will be critical, because that's where we are right now. And I think that's where the team is right now. So I think I want us to be the best we can be, and I want us to strive to be very, very good, and I want us to reach our targets. And with that has to come a little bit of pressure. And I think we've got to just go through it and get to that correct level that's going to be able for us to get there, and not just be comfortable and happy of where we are. I think that's that's where good teams get to. When you aren't at your level and when you aren't where you want to be, you put a bit of pressure on, and you be a little bit critical, and you don't just go, oh, do you know what? We've been great this season. Champions League, we've had a good season. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm not in that camp. I'm not in that camp. I'm in the camp of, I want us to be better than this. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where I am as a fan. If some fans view it differently, then that's fine on you, and that's how you want to view it. But for me, I'm a little bit totally different right now. So really, really happy, but we got to be better, and we need to be better. And I think going into Bournemouth, we will be. So finally, we've got to end on this one. Clean sheet, guys. We kept a clean sheet, so that will go a long way as well. Plus goal today. Forest get battered against Crystal Palace. That'll go down nicely. Liverpool batter Chelsea. Goal difference starts to look a bit better. So, like I say, if we look at the table, there's pressure now on some of these teams that are in and around us to perform. So Chelsea, we are level on points. We are level on points with Forest. So 2 behind Newcastle. Let's keep the pressure there now. Nice gap to 8th, which doesn't really mean anything anyway. So we got to keep looking up, keep that momentum of winning. And you look at Forest's form, not great. Villa's is better. Chelsea's form's decent. Hopefully they're going to lose it this weekend as well. So I think that's where I'm at, guys. Happy, content, buzzing that we've won. But yeah, I want us to, give it a bit. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully this win will do that, because I think, we've come from a tough week and we've been able to bounce back, and we need to just keep some momentum going now. So 3 to go, 3 wins to go. And in my opinion, we'll get Champions League. So cheers, everyone. Subscribe, hit the likes, comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.